我姓 Virtanen， 我叫乌兰。我觉得这里有人听不懂我们，如果我们说汉语，所以现在我们也可以说芬兰语。Uskon, että täällä on paljon kiinalaisia ihmisiä, jotka ymmärtävät suomea. Käsi ylös, ketkä ymmärrätte minua. Joiden suomalaiset. Ainakin suomalaiset. But we'll continue in English. I'll tell you now about a case from vocational education and training. And to put the role here for Seppo, I work as an international officer in Tampere Adult Education Center, TAC. Don't confuse us with TAMK. There is one letter that is different. But we are very close to this place, so on the other side of that railway, you can find a building that is shown in the next slide. Let's look at that. Okay, so there's the main building. Mr. Lee Yong here, please show yourself. He's my left hand and right hand and all the hands that I can use here because, as said, without the networks there is practically nothing. And even though I have tried to specialize in China and Chinese things for many, many years, still every day something new hits me again. For example, last time in China, why the Chinese eat the parts of the animal that move. I never knew that. China is putting a strong emphasis on developing vocational education and training, and that's why we are interested in this case. And like actually Elina said, there are ambitions in that, and I'm thrilled to be in that chain of events. But to tell you about that very shortly, it is a she, as all the big buildings are mentioned, like ships are called a she. So she is a middle-aged lady that is a very determined organization. And what is the best thing about working in VET, I have found myself staying there for now 12 years, is that in TAC, I can say we know what happens in the workplace and what happens with the pedagogy in the workplace. Because 89% of our teachers are also pedagogically qualified. And so basically we take the pedagogy to the workplace and we see what works in the pedagogy at the workplace and what doesn't work at the pedagogy at the workplace. And annually we work with around something like 2,000 companies in Pirkanmaa region. So basically when our visitors see empty classes in TAC, which I always tell young that, hey, why are they empty? Because the teachers are in the workplaces and the students are in the workplaces. And that's why we also take the study visit people when they come and when we host them. As you can see, City of Tampere is involved in our organization through the foundation, so is the Chamber of Commerce, and always the employees and the employers are there. A few figures there. We are also specialists in competence-based qualifications, so know what happens in the knowledge and skills and competence of the people. There you can see the figures. And we are put together in 3 fields at the moment, and they cover around 25 different education fields. And we offer approximately 112 vocational qualifications at the moment, of the a bit less than 400 that are being in Finland as requirements. So why and how Guangzhou? First of all, as the sister city of Guangzhou, Tampere is a natural choice for us. And it is also the 3rd biggest city in China and the biggest in southern China. So I think we have big enough volume. The figures always have something like 3 or 4 zeros at the end, and they always amaze me. As an organization, TAC has identified through the international strategy and the education export strategy what works well, what do we know best, what kind of specialties do we have. You have to know yourself. My background is in anthropology, so you have to know what you know, and then you can start speaking with the other one and trust the logic that he or she has for the specialties that they have. And this kind of areas are some of those that we have found that are very special in the Finnish vocational education and training. The workplace sets the demand for the competences. Of course, the National Board of Education sets the requirements for the qualifications. That's the security for the students and for the workplaces also. But the workplace knows what the work is like, and every 5 years when the qualifications renew, our teachers are there. Also, they are competence-based. Also, this individual study plan. I can see many years here in the long run for developing the individual study planning in China. I don't know much about it at the moment, but we're willing to study it deeper, and I hope the research side comes into the picture very fast, because this recognition and accreditation saves money, it saves efforts, it saves a lot of the frustration with the students. And in the Chinese volume of students, please count with me. And this career guidance and counseling, they are a strong case in Finland. Of course, they are based on the Finnish system, but I believe, and we have also discussed with some of the potential partners about this area, that yes, there are areas that can be developed together. We have to see the logic for both sides. And then these customer-oriented training services that we do. That is another case. So there has to be this kind of continuous sharing for these expertise and niching ourselves and finding the matches and discussing. And this needs, like it has been told already this morning, that this needs those Team Finland activities of products, and this needs time and investment and presence and flying hours and staying hours and hotel hours. Okay. We have to start somewhere. I am a practical person. I tried to stay in the university, but then I left because I thought that I was too applied. So I didn't end up in the applied sciences, but I ended up in the vet. And I am a case of the students from University of Helsinki that never knew really what vocational education and training was until I started working in TAC. So for the first 2 years I started working in TAC, I started to realize what it is about. And now I can say it inside and out. But it took me quite a few years. So I believe this is something that VET offers in China, big cases for all of us in all levels of education, and also in the research, in the academic, in the offers, the training offers that we can do, real bids, and also all kinds of cooperations. What we are doing is we are trying to create long-term business relationships in Guangzhou area and in Guangdong area. Education is a win-win situation, so therefore I think that this kind of, so of course somebody has to pay. We all get salaries. Raise one hand who doesn't get a salary from the workplace here. So this is something that we have to always cover. Vocational Education Center needs to take 7% on the price of the real costs, and that's the law. Everything else is extra. But so we think that if something is worthwhile doing, or even something that is paid for, then we start doing it. We try to find the partners and the representatives in the partners who can make the decisions. So that's where Young helps me. Who can decide? We make maps, we try to analyze figures, we analyze the visit cards, who gets to do what, where is the decision being made. And that is the big thing in China, to my all these guanxis and all these relations and the administration, and if we have 5 levels, they have like 55 levels, so you have to go through this all to see where is the decision being made. So if the interest is there, that is the execution that we are talking about. And then also finding these management and education coordinators who can see what benefits could be done in this field, for example. Hotel, restaurant or catering. We can offer fishes, we can offer berries, we can offer the Scandinavian kitchen, the cross kitchen, those kinds of things. But we can also offer environmental waste planning, something that really fits China at the moment too. It fits us, but it fits them. But also, and there we are finding out these emerging field education managers, so who can say things in their own administration about the area that has to be developed and can be developed. How to do it? So far we have been using the concept of study visit, bringing in groups from different countries. I agree with almost all of you here that lots of questions and lots of expertise and lots of understanding and lots of information already before they come. And so I find myself Googling out things all the time. And so do all the experts that are hosting these groups. Also, I see that what we can do is we can offer expert tasks in Guangzhou. If we can come into cooperation contracts with the organizations there, then we can send our experts there to teach, to participate, to train, to advise. And this is also learning by seeing and doing in Guangzhou. Sorry, there's a jet missing. I'm a linguist. I see those things. And then also one thing, these workplaces as cooperation partners here and there. The last time we visited Guangzhou, we saw that the Swedish are already there. So the Swedish part of me sort of woke up like, oh, they are there already, we should also be. What they did is bring in the school, but bring in the company. So they bring in the Scania. And of course, these kind of models we do all the time in Finland. This is what WEP is all about. There is no learning without the halls and the construction places and the management places and all of that. So this is something that also interests us to see that what should be combined to this case so that we can bring in this kind of learning environments. I believe this is what this volunteer question that you raised here. You raised here about this volunteer work, and I believe that this is something that is also worth taking into account because it is sort of an extra benefit there. Company can always offer, with their own turnovers of how many billions, they can offer these kind of solutions of having learning environments. And this is something extra that comes with the education. And also this kind of educational networks. One very important network for us is AMKE, and I had to dig out the English name for it. It is the Finnish Association for the Development of Vocational Education and Training. 83 members. Yes, I only need one.
Okay.
Yes. So 83 members belong to this. 90% of the vocational education and training is set up there in these 83 members. And the last time, this Tuesday, we had this kind of education with within the AMKE network in Finland and in Helsinki, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, some of the representatives were there, and so we discussed these models and how can this, like you have this Finland University, how can it be done? But I would like to go this way. And this is why I have to mention that Jyväskylä University of Applied Sciences has been a very important partner for us in this case. They're very brave, very strong, and also they make business there. And they also make excellent education there. And we've seen them close by now, and we've learned a lot, and we still want to continue doing it. And so I believe in all kinds of networks for the case. And I hope to bring in many more with us. Our principal asked me that do you want to go after the others or first of all, and we decided that we'll go first. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, just 1 minute, then we have time for one question.